There's so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.
Hello everyone, we are Art of War.
And we believe in creating a community where people can talk about, learn, and improve their skills at Warhammer 40K.
Our channel has live stream competitive matches of 40K, played by the best players in the world.
And we focus on teaching you how to get better at Warhammer, while also emphasizing sportsmanship and engagement with our audience.
We strive to play every faction in the game to a top level, while also using a variety of lists to show off different playstyles for every faction.
We also offer a variety of other videos such as codex reviews, faction rankings, and tactics videos.
When you join our channel, you become part of our community, where we emphasize learning and positive conversation about competitive 40K.
You get early access to our videos, sub badges, emotes, as well as rewatch those hangout and hobby sessions.
Joining our community is a great way for you to show your support for us, so we can keep making awesome videos for you and continuously expand the bounds of competitive 40K.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Hangout and Hobby.
What's up?
I'm Richard Siegler.
I'm John Lennon.
The John Lennon.
The John Lennon.
We are hanging
Senior
out.
Patriarch.
Senor. The Senor.
My little Sky Slashers forms. Oh, that did not focus. There we go. Sky Slashers. How are you doing today, Richard?
Pretty good. I am going to be building a bunch of Necron stuff. I'm going to finish the Monolith today, which
Heck
big news
yeah.
there. And then I'm going to start working on some flayed ones, because guess what? They got core.
That is as good of a reason as they have ever had.
That gives them some extra oomph. They get access to some pretty good rules.
Yeah.
Access to +1 to hit. Silent King, reroll wounds. Not bad.
Rerolling wounds.
You can bring models back now with the Technomancer. They can fall back and shoot and charge, even though they don't have guns. But falling back and charging.
Fall back and charging is something I use all the time.
They can access to the +1 movement, so a little bit faster.
Okay.
And they've got that fight twice.
I'm all about it. All about it.
I'm eager to see some played ones.
What's up? Yes, 14 Dead Soul, this is totally going to be the most hype hobby session of the year. Thought Monday was hype. This is going to be double the hype.
Yeah,
maybe even triple.
Anytime there's a monolith on the table.
I'm excited about monoliths. And I'm also excited about all these darn Tyranids I'm painting. How was dinner/lunch? Lunch was great. I will give everyone 3 guesses as to what I had. Chat only, Richard. No cheating.
No cheating. No hints.
No hints.
John only eats one of 3 things, so...
I can name at least 4. Beyond that, no promises.
No promises.
Dun dun dun. Right now I am putting a base coat on the wings of some Sky Slasher swarms. They're going to be in my list for Warzone Atlanta. Which is unfortunately a little bit old on the rules, but, well, we're going anyway.
Still a fun event.
Yeah, it's still a very good time.
A good show.
Only 15 more out of 30. John painting gods myself. You got it, Chris. All 30 have more than 3 colors on them. However, I would like to add perhaps a 5th and a 6th color to be truly tournament ready.
That's the above tabletop standard.
2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 colors on them. That's not bad. So we'll go 6 and 7. What's up? Cloud Mode with the updates hype. I am so hyped.
Just in general?
Just in general.
Specifically about Sisters going forward. Thanks so much for the super chat, Cloud Mode. Tell us about Sisters, John.
Yo, what's up, King Hef? Oh, man.
Certainly is helpful having Admech and Drukari come down, as well as orcs not being heinously running, like 7-8 swig buggies and just
yes.
army.
Hot takes for Sisters. Sisters are, I think, one of the 2 or 3 armies that benefited the most from this update.
It's coming together.
Oh man, Sisters are in such a good spot right now. I really want to get them back on the table. I think the Drukari matchup is now great. Admech is now manageable. Orcs is
definitely more manageable. I think Sisters, I actually think I would take the same Sisters list that I ran on a stream last week. I think I still like either sticking with my old Evan Chalice, or if I'm doing anything else, it's the Argent Shroud Melt to Heavy build like before. It's just a lot easier to deal with everyone else right now. Really, the question is going to be, what is happening to the rest of the armies in the game? That's the question. Is I think all the top armies and the Sisters are in a much better spot. I love where I'm at. However, I kind of want to wait and see who rises up. Is there a good Chaos Space Marine build? Are Knights now a problem that I'm going to inflict on other people? Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe. If Warzone Atlanta would let me change my list, I would bust out some Knights this weekend. All OBSEC, 200 points less of Dark Elder to deal with, I'd be unstoppable. What's going on? King Hef with a £5 super chat. What's next on John's bandwagon hype train? You know what? I don't think Tyranids count as bandwagon for me. Right?
It's been a while, John.
I won a GT with them earlier this year. Come on. You've played one event with Tau. I've played one event with Tyranids. I wouldn't call you bandwagon if you went on to Tau. I don't think this is bandwagon. But Tyranids
bandwagon would be if some faction that John typically doesn't play is just getting silly rules like orcs. If John just switched over to Speedwall right now, that's bandwagon.
I stayed strong. I didn't play Admech or Orcs during this. Or Grey Knights. And Grey Knights were the most tempting because I already know how to do Marines. No, Tyranids are 100% next on my hype train. I'll probably play a mix of Tyranids and Sisters moving forward. And as soon as we get the Genestealer Cult rules, that's an army that I just love to play. So they're definitely going to enter my rotation. With any luck, Genestealer Cult's going to have some really fun combos. And I would love to make that a tournament army. I'd actually love to take Genestealer Cult to LVO. Because Genestealer Cult is, dare I say, my favorite model line in 40k. I love Genestealer Cult so much. So I could be very easily convinced if the rules are...
I thought it was just Khan. Just 30K.
Corsaro Khan might be my favorite model in 40k.
He's a whole line himself.
He is. He ends lines. a whole family of Nick's special characters wiped out by Khan.
Can we just get Nick to play one game at 30k so you can run the Khan?
Oh my god, yeah, I really will. There's so many rumors around Horus Heresy right now, and I'm definitely buying Khan, but I'm I feel like I should just buy Khan. Then it's if I'm gonna buy Khan, why not just spend way too much money on a bunch more Space Marines? I don't have enough of those lying around. You know what? I actually don't have any memory of the month of April, Jonathan. I don't know. Dark Elder came out. I was there. I just don't really remember what happened.
I remember Nick thinking he won Best Drukari.
Oh my, nothing like it, right? Fourth Best Drukari.
So I won Best Drukari.
No. What a world. No, for me, it's definitely Bugs are next up on the train. I'm really, really excited by the Leviathan rules. I think they were... I think that with some of the nerfs, they actually have the ability to compete with some top-tier armies. There's still some good things out there. Orcs, I think, are still amazingly powerful. And Grey Knights, I think, are going to be tricky. I don't know. I don't think they hard counter Tyranids, but that game is tricky. That's one that I want to get a few reps in. So yeah, I'm just excited to see how I can make everything go.
Let's see, there's another super chat up here. $5 super chat for Kyle Norman. Thank you so much, Kyle. Toying with this list: Chaos Knights super heavy, double Majera with the claw, 3 Moraxes with lightning locks, and the Chaos Demons patrol with Be'lakor and some Nurglings.
Honestly, I actually think I would rather have pure Chaos Knights here, even though Be'lakor is good. If you aren't pure Knights, you lose OBSEC on those armatures.
Yeah, you need every model in your army.
Every model in your army has to be either Imperial Knights or Chaos Knights. And man, just dropping some hot, spicy OBSEC on those armatures, I feel like that replaces the Nurglings. Because you could, if you cut Be'lakor and the Nurglings, you could probably get another, another small knight and another big knight, I think, for those points. And then all those babies become OBSEC. And that is really hard to say no to.
And honestly, Chaos Knights do armatures, or Moraxes in particular, better than Imperial Knights, in my opinion.
100%. I would totally agree with that.
I would probably look to get even more of those in there if you with the points with Be'lakor and those Nurglings.
Yeah, I think you could do 8 armatures and 2 big knights.
That feels
that's a lot of OBSEC right there. I would love to see that.
Yeah, because the main way to play against this stuff, because most people aren't overloading on anti-tank, especially on higher terrain. That means they're going to try and contest your objectives. Well, it's a lot harder when there's OBSEC.
Five OBSEC models. What's that? One model? Looks like 5 to me.
Don't like that.
I love it. Oh man, I really want to play knights now. This is difficult. Tyranids and knights are both in happy places. And then sisters, sisters really benefiting, I think, from a lot of what just happened yesterday. Oh man. Enough of the 40k talk. We're here for the cooking tech. Oh, 14 Dead Soul. It was but a humble panini. But you know what? It was delicious. Roast beef, smoked Gouda. I was very happy. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Maddo says John is an OG Tyranid player. You're gosh darn right, Maddo. I have 13-year-old Ripper Swarms over in that in the stream room. Got those things seriously a long time ago. Literally, 2008 is when I first got into Tyranids. It's been a long time, but you know what? It's going to be welcome back into the loving arms of the Swarm. So many loving arms. Just so many arms. Possibly 4. Definitely not 2.
Chaos is enraged now. They know about the 4-armed Emperor, and they don't care about any Emperor.
That's true.
He is a heretic now.
The 4-armed Emperor? I'm like, hang on. Why are Chaos Space Marines so sad? Richard, you said in your hot take that you think you would drop flyers altogether from AdMech lists?
I mean, it's 400 points for 2 models.
Yeah, when you put it like that. They're 180 now?
180 base.
Ooh.
20 for the chaff launchers.
What were they before? They were 160 base?
They went up 20 each.
Okay.
All the flyers.
Okay.
Not the transport, though.
Well, that's good.
Not like anybody's running it. But yeah, the Stratoraptor is 200 points if you bring the chaff launchers. You could just drop the chaff launchers and accept that, if they die, whatever. But still, it's a lot of points. They're still good. They're still a good unit. It's just they're very expensive, and you can get a lot for that. Because 1 plane, or you get 10 Rust Stalkers. That's like on G-Dub's terrain.
Because 10 Rust Stalkers is 190, not 170 now?
Yeah, it's 190.
It used to be 170?
Yeah.
I do love those changes.
It's just like, I would rather just have the more mission playing stuff.
I feel it.
Because it's not like Stratoraptors do a ton of damage to the Metallica list. That wasn't the concern. It was all the Squig Buggies pick up everything.
Yeah.
But the other stuff, it's not doing quick enough damage to the Metallica list before it gets into your deployment zone and starts messing everything up.
Making some compelling arguments here.
I would rather do that, honestly. Just run more stuff overall. And then in that case, one of the great strengths of the Metallica list is it just doesn't care about your opponent's anti-tank. You brought lots of anti-tank to help with buggies and orcs.
Front
doesn't matter.
Open right now.
You can't do anything about that, John.
All right, we'll see how long it takes Nick to come back and close the front door. I'd like to think he's doing.
Put a timer on it.
I like to think he's just grabbing something. He'll be right back.
I wish
we're in spot.
Dead Soul says he wishes Tau was the first codex, so they could have been a few good months, then bad for the rest of the edition.
Oh, that's what I like.
Instead, they're gonna be crazy for the rest of the edition. That's what's gonna happen, John, right?
This sounds like a post LVO problem, man. And
Darkstrider is gonna come out of the woodwork.
I was a Primaris Lieutenant.
He's gonna do everything and more.
No, that was a Primaris Lieutenant. I saw it.
Darkstrider. He's got little baby drones.
It's a Primaris.
Baby drones. Come on.
I promise it's a Primaris.
Imagine the broken rules they could put on baby drones.
Baby drones.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Okay, baby drones are better than Nurglings, but they're just not as good as familiars. Like Genesteer familiars are the cutest little baby models. Also, I like servitors and servo skulls and like cherubs.
Servitors.
I like servitors better than baby drones.
I like baby drones. They fly, John.
They're better than chaos.
They fly.
It's better than chaos.
They fly and they screen out your GSC.
You know what?
You love
That's
that.
not going to become a problem. I promise. That will not be a problem. Genesteer is going to arrive 1 inch away. They're going to advance and charge out of reserves. Wolf quads are going to be OP. Just you wait, Richard. Wolf quads are going to kill all the baby drones. Mark my word.
Matt O asks, would you still take the GSC in your bugs list, or was the aircraft nerf enough to make you think you don't need it as much?
I might leave it in purely because I could go second against 2 orc planes, but that feels like the only kind of planes.
John, if I just drop this on your gaunts, they would all be dead, right?
100%, yeah. If you can normal move, anytime you normal move the monolith.
The heft of this thing.
Or fall back, I'll give you that.
Normal
Normal
move so cool.
Or fall back, any models you ended engagement with they just die.
How cool is this?
That's pretty darn cool.
So you think GSC not necessary, you said?
I think I'm probably gonna drop it. I kind of want to look at how much damage 2 orc planes can do, because I expect that 2 orc planes is going to be automatic in every single orc list. But I'm willing to test it out a couple times and see how hard it hurts.
It's kind of the same place that the AdMech Metallica list is. Like 2 planes, yeah, you'll do some damage, but just not enough.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to save the CP.
Save CP and points.
Yep.
Can't wait for the Wolf Quad and Monolith meta. It's coming.
Wolf
It's coming.
quads. Buy your wolf quads, everyone. Help us out.
Six is gonna be an Orc Speed Freak player now.
You know what?
I didn't stoop to Drukari.
What would it take?
I mean, Speed Freaks is getting kind of close.
Speed Freaks is pretty
Dangerously close.
They're pretty good. That new detachment coming in at the nick of time, like right along with the nerfs. Like don't worry, sweet children. We have something good for you still. It's like, oh,
Yes.
great.
You'll have less buggies in your list. War bikers, baby.
Yeah, and Defcopters.
And Def
Their
Copters.
ability to just go into reserve after shooting is like,
It makes me wonder when this book was written.
seriously. Yeah. Same time as Tyraxian. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, how's this monolith going? It's getting finished today, we think.
Oh yeah, this is the last steps. It's putting this
heck
front
yeah.
piece on.
I'm putting a little base coat on the lash whips. They're gonna be the same color as the Ripper Swarm wings. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of paint on the Devourers. The Devourers is all I have left to do on these Termagants. I'm just gonna paint the fleshier parts of the Devourers. I think I'm actually gonna go green on them. I did a unit of 30 already, and I've kind of realized in my practice games that the squads literally sit next to each other, and I feel like it's gonna get confusing if I don't do some kind of color difference here.
It's like what I did with my Rangers, where I have the one big brick always has the hoods, and then the small ones have the Vanguard helmets.
Yeah, not as many head options on Tyranids, so because these kits are old. Old. I think they're only actually like 17 or 18 years old. They're not
That's
like
not that
before
old.
2000s. Tyranids have a lot of kits from 4th edition, which is like the 4th edition kits aren't bad. They're not dealing with any of the like the 2nd edition metal that maybe Craft World is. Because I acknowledge Craft Worlds need new models more than Tyranids do. But also, I hate elves. Gotta prioritize here.
Clown Mode with a $5 super chat.
What's up?
Thanks so much, Clown Mode. My friend plays a Morty Death Guard list that he's bringing to his first GT. That is awesome. He's struggling with secondaries. How should he be playing this army? My guess is with Death Guard, usually you want to be living around Stranglehold to the last, or grind them down. And then you're going to look at one of the action secondaries, either the Death Guard specific one,
Spread the sickness.
or raise banners.
Yeah, I love having a lot of poxwalkers and such to spread the sickness. But since your characters can all raise banners, that is also a very good take.
Banners is good because the main play there is, hey, it feels awesome. Your opponent pick banners, you're going to go contest their primary, and you're going to deny their banners. But Death Guard is one of those armies get significantly better the closer you get to them. And if you throw away units early, that makes their late game really strong, especially if you take things like to the last.
Yeah, because they get so much movement out of it.
And they get up the board much quicker, so they can actually get into your side of the board. So it's a trade-off, but I think Death Guard plays that pretty well.
Yeah, I also find that Death Guard can do Warp Ritual relatively well against armies that don't have denies.
That
A
is
lot
true.
of people have gone 0 Psychers. So I would just consider Warp Ritual, even though it's not an automatic thing.
Yeah.
Just look at it and be like, you know what? Maybe this is a game that I do want to be in the center. I've got a malefic playcaster, malignant playcaster, just walking around. Maybe he can go get you 12 points of Psych Ritual.
Those
Warp
are,
Ritual. That's what it's
you're pretty much staying in those. You're not getting too adventurous. Now, if there's a great mission secondary, like Priority Target or Sweep and Clear with a Direct Assault, that's where you're going to take a mission secondary instead of the action one.
for sure.
But otherwise, you're sticking with those ones.
Mhm.
He's done. The Warrior's inside.
He's done?
He's done.
Heck yeah.
This thing is legendary. Look at the beef.
Oh, I love the warrior stepping out the front. Like,
You,
getting
you can
summoned
do
for
a
the game.
they give you the option to do a basic door right
Okay.
here, and then they give you the warrior door. And like, who is not going to choose the warrior door?
Okay, well, I think if you do 2 monoliths, you should have one of each.
No, I'm gonna keep having warrior spot. I'm gonna
Just
I'm gonna
warriors-
customize it and get a Lich Guard walking out of there.
That would
Or a
also
Triarch
look very
Praetorian.
cool. That would
Yeah.
also look great. Get an entire Scorpic Destroyer.
This thing is amazingly huge.
Time to get chunky. Does it come with a base?
Yeah, let's grab it because it's big.
I'm gonna figure this out. This is heftier than a plastic model should be.
Right?
Like,
Like that is a brick.
that's a brick. Oh my god.
It looks amazing.
It does. This.
How could they not give this good rules?
It is a beautiful.
How did they nerf the Monolith by giving it a new model? Taking fly away, making it a super
if
heavy.
it was just heavy support, I would actually think about it. I get it. It needs fly very badly.
It needs to be a little cheaper
A
too.
little bit cheaper would not hurt. Maybe because whatever pack that is a big base.
That's a base.
That is like that's almost objective size. That was it.
That's my hand.
There you go. Oh man.
Yeah, and it hangs off this obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely does.
But they designed the bottom pieces to flat lay on it. So
I think that there's
a special
clear
base
stem.
too. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I didn't know how you wanted to do it.
I am not going to glue it for now.
That's pretty reasonable. Pretty
Let
reasonable.
the Monolith be a champion.
Monolith is such a beautiful model. Yeah, I know.
Classic Necrons.
Like 30 points cheaper and heavy support.
And fly.
I would
really
very
needs
much
fly. Like,
it
look how-
does.
How is it moving anywhere without fly?
It definitely does need fly.
It needs like old tank shock where you go next to the Monolith and you just get warped into the vortex.
I am very willing to just lift up bottles.
Because imagine that thing flying over you. You're just dead. There's no
you
way.
just womp. Like the anti, like they're so like right when they were like putting out the lore of like early 8th edition when they were like, yeah, Space Marines have a repulsor now. Like an Iron Warrior, like in like the first book of like when like the Primaris get debuted, he like slides under a repulsor with a melta bomb just to like try to blow it up from the bottom, and the anti-grav waves just flatten him out, just straight pavement. I'm like, oh, okay.
You don't mess with that.
And it's like, huh, they haven't fought against this yet. It's like, yep, they just get flattened. You do not go underneath a repulsor. You will get repulsed. Nasty.
I'm not sure what they were doing with the Lords of War, honestly. There's very few of them that are good.
Not many.
They did good work on the Majera though.
I mean, if anyone should have a good Lord of War, I accept it being Knights. I'm pretty okay with that. Alright, so I need to mark out my acid mods because I'm using those Gene Stores Nick painted, and those unfortunately do not have the acid one marked. Which is convenient. You know, Nick likes to just say, yeah, the last 4 guys are acid mods. I'm like, are they really?
Are they really?
So we're gonna paint
One of
some
them's
acid.
the Sergeant too.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
Trusted.
yeah, I'm gonna paint some acid mods just to make sure everyone's on the same page. Just give them the nice glowing green around the jaws.
It's especially important with armies like AdMech where your sergeants can have actual special relics and warlord traits.
Extremely important. Yep.
So-
Is there a what color do you think I should do on these devours? Because I don't know, I'm just not feeling the green.
You're not feeling green?
I don't know. Do
I
you
feel
think
like green works well.
you think green would look good? Because the last ones are the same yellow as the Ripper Storms here. So
So you have a squad full of yellow.
I have a 30-man Termagant brick that has the yellow.
You could do purple.
I could do purple.
Purple wouldn't look bad. Maybe do a brighter yellow.
Yeah, I could
You
just
could do an orange.
Yeah, I could just do like just 2 different shades of like so that it's just a shade difference. Not bad. Let me think. Let's put a little green on. The acid mod's gonna be green. That part's easy.
Yeah, acid one makes sense as green. I don't know. Maybe I would keep it with the darker theme. Maybe go like a purple or something.
Yeah.
That could look cool. Would I take Necrons to an event? No. They need points drops. They got better, but they need points drops. Their rules just aren't that good. That's the bottom line. Is yes, they got access to core, but this isn't AdMech getting, AdMech core buffs. This is Necron core buffs, and they're the worst core buffs in the game. So it's nice, certainly. It improves their power, but it doesn't dramatically increase their power. They're not shooting up from C all the way to A. But with points drops, they could get closer. So, between this and hopefully chapter approved, because I cannot imagine they give Necron's points increases again.
Yeah, well,
Like,
clearly the
please.
design studio acknowledged that Necrons needed some improvement, which
They
is
were like,
why...
John is playing way too many close games against the Silent King. This is just unacceptable. Entropic Lance killed a Vexilla and Dante. No,
Wasn't too fond of that element.
No. It's gone. $10 super chat from Mr. Matt. Oh, thank you so much, Matt.
Matt-o.
Hey, John, I know it is mission dependent, but in general with sisters, should I try and be more aggressive into Grey Knights or more passive, waiting for their Dread Knights and infantry to poke out a bit?
I personally favor passive because sisters have a limited quantity of tools that can handle Dread Knights, and you really don't want to hit a late game where you have used all of those tools and your opponent no longer has to respect you. If you burn all your Retributors early game and then suddenly the Dread Knights kind of have free reign, you're going to have a much harder time than if you've kept a couple Retributor squads in the pocket. They've spent the first 2 turns being conservative, and now you can, now you can play that cat and mouse game all throughout the rest of the game. Dun, dun, dun. Got another super chat. This one is from Zachariah. Thank you so much for that super chat. Think Drukari are just the same list as before with -1 boat, or are they fundamentally different, aka Coven Pain Engines? I think that you keep a lot of the same elements as before, but you work in a few of the buffed units. I actually think that the Ravagers are pretty good. Like 10 points cheaper on a Ravager in conjunction with your Raiders maybe not wanting to take as many. I actually think Ravagers are worth considering. Of course, we'll see if that actually makes it into any Dark Elder list. Void Raven Bombers also got cheaper. Talos got cheaper. I definitely think Talos have a really strong place in the meta right now. It's weird. We had like a Talos meta. Like, Talos were so much better than Kronos. Literally forever. Literally forever. And then, they just went on to Kronos, and now it's right back to Talos.
I think you'll still see Kronos, though. Like they didn't go up that much.
15. It's 45 points for a unit of 3. It's not small, but I agree. I think they're still very strong. Though again, they're really only good Dark Technomancers, it seems.
Yeah, that's true. If you want to go Artisans of the Flesh, it's a whole extra detachment.
Yeah, and at that point, because Talos got cheaper, I don't think you can really justify taking Talos over Kronos. I'm sorry, taking Kronos over Talos if you're trying to soak. I think you have to be Dark Technomancer to justify Kronos. Yeah, I'm all about the Talos train. Covens are my favorite Dark Eldar. So if I was desperate in playing Dark Eldar, I would personally go Covens heavy. Take some Grotesques, take some Talos, work in some Ravagers, and still take 2 Succubus, because why would I not? Just because they cost more does not mean they're not undercosted.
I mean, now they cost the same as like the Necron characters.
Yeah, it still costs less than Genius Circle characters, so we can just wait on that one.
$5 super chat from Zachariah. Think that Drukari is just.
That was the
one you.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Tim Taylor, Knights are OP now. You heard it here first. I'm kidding, they're not OP. But I think Knights did go up to, I think, bottom of A tier, honestly. Chaos Knights, I don't really know, because none of us here have played Chaos Knights at the house. So it's different than Imperial Knights, because they obviously have worse big ones. But their Armigers are a little bit better, and this does really kind of reward you for taking Armigers. So I still think I like Imperial better than Chaos, but Chaos also got some really nice buffs. Probably a slightly larger buff than Imperium, but Imperium was in a better spot before. Alright, Asmaz.
Do you think you'll make any changes to your Knight list, adding more Armigers?
No, I don't think so. I really like Megara stuff. That has not changed. Could always go to 2 Megara and a bunch of Armigers. You can basically get 3 more acts for the cost of a Megara. But I'm just a really big fan of Megaras. Not gonna lie here. How many Knight? Tell me. Okay, got it. Yep. Tyranid monsters just need new rules. These terrors have less attacks than a witch and hit on a 4. Rising Crescendo, you are right. Good golly, man, Tyranid monsters are just not really a thing. But they try so hard. In the end, it doesn't even matter. They try so hard, though. It's alright. The Hive Tyrant might sneak his way back into my list now, honestly.
This thing like Carnifexes. Come on.
Nope. Nope. Maliceptor, 3 attacks, weapon skill 4. What do you think?
Thinking no.
No?
Thinking a big
No?
I don't-
Ooh.
Yep.
This is a question for you from Samuel. Richard, what is your favorite character from the Ravener series?
I assume we can't pick Ravener himself.
It sounds like he's from the Ravener series.
Ravener is my favorite, to be
Okay.
clear. Eisenhorn's my favorite, then Ravener.
Okay.
Patience is awesome.
Okay.
I love the voice actor, Toby something.
Mhm.
He does an excellent job with all the different characters.
Very nice.
There's Jack. The Jack is here.
Jack is poking his head in here.
Jack has arrived.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, friendo. How's it going?
Going pretty well. We are hanging out and hobbying, you know, doing the good things.
Okay, what you making?
Richard is working on
Flayed
some
ones.
flayed ones.
Look at the monolith.
It is a fully built
There's a
monolith.
monolith?
There's
Yes.
a monolith.
But why?
Apocalypse, baby.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. So what is
It's gonna be rammed
what is it?
right
It's-
down Nick's
it's
army.
Hell yeah.
3,000 points each
Hell yeah.
Yes.
of Tau, Necrons, and Imperium, or
Yes. Town Necrons Imperium all together.
to 9,000 points of Chaos and Orcs.
I'm gonna see how much combat I can jam down Nick's throat right off the go.
You wanna play some combat Necrons?
Is that
Nemesis
even
Jack?
a thing?
It can be.
Well, we'll have to look into it.
All right, we'll have to figure out what we're doing there.
All right.
Uh,
See, I have a podcast to do.
Yeah. Alkakoi asks, how much did the FAQ help NIDS? It helped a good amount just by removing some of the top predators from the meta. I definitely think NIDS were a tier below some of the big bads, but they still had the ability to play into them, even if, not consistently. So toning them down really helps the AdMech and Dark Elder matchup a lot. I would now feel confident with NIDS into those matchups. And Orcs, just by making them diversify their list, it gives you more opportunity to outplay them. Whereas if you get stat checked the wrong way, Orcs could always beat you, and the more they had of the stat check, the worse it was going to get. So I'm happy that we're not going to get that. Yes, David, 100%. Triple Megara is back, baby. I really wish I was playing Triple Megara at Warzone Atlanta this weekend. God, that would have been so much fun. What did people think of the latest Hammer and Bolter episode, The Garden of the Dead? You know what?
Watched it.
I actually enjoyed it. It's told from the Eldar perspective, and it features Space Marines in it, but the Space Marines are definitely antagonists in this one. I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil it for people who maybe haven't watched it yet. But I thought I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was worth the watch, even though it tried to portray the Eldar as anything other than filthy Xenos, which we all know better than that, right, Rich? We know better. Gotta punish those Xenos. All right,
Games Workshop does. They
Games
know about
Workshop.
punishing
All right.
Xenos.
I'm gonna go grab one of the double gaunts I painted before, and then I think I'm gonna try to do an alternate yellow, just so that it's
You
like
do like a brighter yellow.
yeah, I think either brighter or duller. I'm just gonna grab the first one to decide what I'm gonna do. I'll be right back.
Are there changes in play for Warzone? So Warzone went ahead and accepted the buffs. So the Knight buff, the buffs that Guard got, the Necron core changes, and the Chaos buff. All those are in effect, but they did not add the Orc nerf to buggies. They didn't add the aircraft nerf, and they didn't add the AdMech or Drukari points. So they basically accepted the buffs, but didn't implement the nerfs. So it's a strange hybrid of an event. I guess they didn't want people resubmitting their lists, but honestly, I would have done it. I think everybody missed the one model that really got nerfed. The Necron Obelisk has only 2 targets at most. The Necron Obelisk is terrible. It was just never... They just have not found a niche for it. Like most of the Necron Super Heavies. There's the gaunt.
Where did that box go?
The box of what?
I was looking
Paints?
for the box of paint.
I believe it's right there. Yeah.
Alrighty, I think we can do some good things here.
Is it time to nerf the Majera?
No, it's not. You don't say these foul things.
John would be big sad.
I would be big sad. Does anyone really want to see John big sad?
Really, what they need is the other Knights to have a... So it's a
Absolutely.
choice between them.
Absolutely.
Ideally, you take one of a couple types.
I would enjoy that more, frankly. Also, it would give me a reason to paint more things for knights, which is cool. Knights are a super fun army to paint. I actually really enjoyed getting my knight army up to its current standard.
They need to buff the Valiant in a significant way so that I can see it
That's
on
all
the
I
table.
need. That's all I need.
I want to see the Harpoon just get one of Nick's Raiders, boom, right off the table. It's gone.
Oh man, what does Nick even play? Because like you can get a full Dread Knight with the Harpoon.
Yeah, you can get a lot
I
of
would.
stuff.
Good golly.
You do not mess with the Harpoon. That thing's flying around.
I don't even know what like sound effects this thing makes, but I don't care. I just want that thing to just go off, scoop a Grandmaster straight off the table.
You had a 3-up in, you failed it? Well,
Go ahead, next. Roll that CP. Make my day.
do this
1 into
again.
a 1. Yeah, it's going. No, Nick would literally never fail an invuln against that Hurricane.
He really might.
No, he does not.
If Magnus and Morty were there beside it,
Okay, maybe on Magnus or Morty, but like if we're talking a Dread Knight or a Telemon or a Raider, he would never fail that save.
or Succubus.
A Succubus literally is indestructible. Half damage and -4. Like I don't care. You cannot kill Succubus. It's too much to ask, Richard.
It has a 4-up invuln, but it auto passes its invulns.
It's great. It's like a shadow field that you can reroll, but it also doesn't go away. Stupid Succubus.
$5 super chat, Mr. Matt Laura. Thanks so much, Matt. What chapter custom would you play a fun firstborn list with 3 different Sicarians?
Firstborn.
Working on a fun army, but want to know the best way to run it. So firstborn.
Obviously you're gonna. I think you go Master Artisans, and I think you still go. Honestly, Master Artisan Iron Hands, maybe the Iron Hand successors. That is, maybe the best way to go. I really like the Sicarian Omega, and because that gives it real ones to hit if it's Iron Hands, and it has a plasma cannon, so overcharging it and rerolling ones to hit is obviously a great combo. And it's actually very good damage output. And of course, you've always got good healing abilities in an Iron Hand list to fix your vehicles up. But you know what? Maybe Black Templars, right? Best Spaceman chapter? Black Templars. Not going to be in play at Austin, unfortunately. You can't use the new Black Templar book.
Which is a shame.
That is a pity. I was really hoping that we could kind of get some tournament results out of them.
I expect to do them very well. And speaking of which, John will be playing them against Jack's Blood Angels.
Yep.
And if Jack loses, we never hear about Blood Angels again.
Was that the bet?
That's what I'm putting
That's
on.
what you're putting on? Okay. I love how you're not the one on this bet. You're not the one playing, and you're the one setting down terms. I wasn't part of this bet, but yeah, Jack and I are going to play a Black Templars versus Blood Angels game sometime soon, and I'm really excited to see how that goes. Tim Taylor, 100%. I'm still on board the Freeblade train. Krast is really good. I personally do not rate Raven as highly as Krast or Freeblade, but they're not bad. Those are the 3 ways to do it. However, I still would say number 1, Freeblade, number 2, Krast, number 3, Raven.
I think the best healing character in the game is the Technomancer now. He's not better than the Chief Apothecary, I'll tell you that. But he is better. He already basically slotted into my previous list from the past couple months. Now he's automatic.
What does he do? He just heals 1 model from a core unit?
Yep, and if it's Warriors, it's D3.
That's pretty good.
And then you can 1 CP have that on 2 different units.
Okay, but not on the same unit twice.
No, they did not get that exception.
Can he still have like a points upgrade to once a game get a model back?
Yes, you can still take the Flactorine Hive. They have not given Necrons an FAQ, but I expect that to probably change. I don't know what they would change. Either they're going to just delete it, or they're going to change what it does.
Okay. So that means that if you theoretically bought the Flactorine Hive, he could heal 2 Scorpex or 2 Wraiths in the 1 turn.
You can just do that with 1 CP.
Oh, I thought you couldn't. I mean, 2 in the same unit.
It's instead of using... No, you can't target the same unit with it.
Exactly. So
because it counts as a Rient.
But, could you use the Phylactery Hive and the normal heal at the same time?
No. Because
okay.
the Phylacterine Hive lets you do the rites of reanimation on a unit. It's the same rule. Right? You're activating rites of reanimation, which you can't target the same unit with.
That makes more sense now.
John, they found everything that could have been like even slightly too strong, and they found it, and they were like, nope. That Necron book, whoever wrote the Necron book, those people understood the combos that could have been in there, and they made sure they didn't exist. And if they followed that throughout the edition, it would have been fine. But then the rest of the design team was like, Drukari, AdMech, Orcs.
Wombo combo.
Here you go,
Wombo
boys.
combo.
No restrictions.
You
Don't
love
even
your
worry
wombo
about it.
combos. Don't you worry.
But for Necrons, they were like, if there's even a single thing that could be slightly too powerful in meta shaping, no. Done. We found it. So
It's out of there. Fair enough.
I think those guys they wrote the Necron book, and then the design team was like, nah. Not our
this.
No, not our style. We're going for whatever's fun and cool. Thinking of starting a new army. Very hesitant to go between GSC or NIDS. I want something very different from my chaos. What would you recommend? GSC and NIDS are both very different from those armies, because those are fairly elite, relatively slow armies. One is more about durability. One's more about psychic offense, but both have quite a good amount of durability.
Yep.
Tyranids and GSC are not about durability.
Nope.
They are about having a ton of units all over the board and overwhelming you in bodies and obsec and in tricks.
Yeah, usually speed, tricks, usually good hitting power, situational defense, but they don't just have good stat lines across the board. That's certainly not what Tyranids Engine Circle are about. Like, I can put like a -1 to hit aura on my army, which is really, really cool, but that doesn't change the fact that my dudes have a 6-up save.
Yeah.
They will die to bolt guns. It's just I'm trying to lose a little bit less to bolt guns than before.
And honestly, if you're on the fence, you might as well wait for the Codex. Next month, we know that Custodes and GSC are coming.
Yep.
They're coming in a box set as well, so it'd be easy to split that with somebody and just take the half that you want.
100%. That box set is great for starting out, by the way. Just purely from the models in it, that is a great starting box. It's a little annoying because it's not as good for people who already have Gene Stealer Cult. Yet another Broodmind in there.
So you might we should eventually start getting previews. They said it's December. Hopefully it's like early December.
Usually they do early December because they don't release stuff right at Christmas.
Yeah.
They usually want it available for the holidays.
So we should start getting previews, get a sense of what they can do, and then from there, you can decide if you want to go that direction. Because the NID rules that they got with Leviathan and Octarius are very strong. They're going to keep Tyranids alive for a while.
For sure.
And then if GSC also has good rules, both those factions love to hang out with each other.
Yeah, I'm guessing Tyranids are not getting a new rule book anytime soon. Which is weird that
this is the ideal though. They got Octarius if they're going to be a while. Like, that's awesome. That's what every
That's
faction.
great.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm happy.
It
with
should not
that.
be you get Codex and supplement and more stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be kind of mad if a month after, in January, it's like, here's the new campaign. It's Farside Enclaves and a Gene Stealer Cult. It's like, no, no. Oh man, I can wish list all day. It's really hard to predict what's gonna be in the new Codex because so far, everything except Sisters and Marines, and even Sisters to an extent, has been a complete overhaul on the faction. They have really looked at it from a creative standpoint and changed what they're doing. They're trying to keep the theme intact, so what's going to be in the Gene Stealer Code Codex, I don't know. I expect them to be sneakier and stabbier than ever before, which, you know what, that's what I want. I want to be sneaky and stab people, especially in the corners. I would like to be able to charge people in the corners. I hope blips stay. I like blips as a mechanic. I hate getting alpha struck by planes. I hope blips stay exactly how they are. I think they're cool.
We got a $5 super chat for Armor 586. What are your guys' thoughts on where GSC could go besides up? What would you like to see in their codex that would push them into competitive? Thanks so much, Armor. Appreciate your support. Yes, they can't get worse.
No.
They are at the bottom.
They are at the bottom. Yep.
It's really hard to get worse than there. None of the 9th edition books have actively made a faction worse, besides probably Blood Angels, honestly. But even then, it's not dramatically worse.
Jack will jump in through the wall and fight you. He's gonna.
8th edition Blood Angels was 100% stronger. Their strats were really quite powerful.
They were quite good. That's true.
But tell us about GSC. Where would you want GSC to head?
Well, I want Gene Stealer Cult to put more emphasis on the unique units. I really want Goliaths and neophyte weapons to get a lot better because Gene Stealer Cult was very good, but it wasn't very diverse.
That's fair.
You had a ton of reason to punch people because Aberrants were good at it and Acolytes were good at it, and you could spend a bunch of command points to get pretty good charges off. And that's just kind of what Genius Circle was, right? Like, shooting was unreliable at best, spamming hand flamers at most. You didn't take vehicles because they were all garbage, had no buffs, and were overcosted. It's a whole mess. So I just really want them to flesh out all the avenues of Genius Circle. I want bikes to be viable as anything other than the cheapest demolition. I would love to have Goliaths be worth taking, because the Goliath truck has been pretty bad the entire time, and I've taken it because I just needed a transport several times, but I would just really be happier if that was not what the Goliath truck was, because it's an overcosted Rhino that's T6 with a 4-up save. Like, I hope it gets something, ideally not Ramshackle, because that's a stupid mechanic, because right now it has like old Ramshackle, where like it has like a 6-up Film Paint or something. It's called Rugged Construction. I hope Rugged Construction is something besides Ramshackle. Like, hopefully it just gets tougher. Like, this thing is solidly built. It should not be T6 with a 4 armor save. That is a Raider.
You're not really.
That is a Raider without an invul, and then it costs more than a Raider. Like, stop. Actually, Raiders just went up. It may not cost more than now.
Yeah, if it has rugged construction and it's going into mines,
yeah,
I kind of don't want this thing like a rickety.
I don't want it to be a rickety, like, fall apart kind of thing. So I hope Goliaths are really good in that you can get all avenues of Genius Circle, because Genius Circle, the deep strike and charge you, is very cool. I like deep striking and charging people. I do not want that to be the only thing they do. And yes, I would love it if they were to help some of both the obscure characters and especially just some of the data sheets, like Metamorphs. Garbage. Please fix Metamorphs. Aberrants, please make them well balanced and worth taking. I don't want them to be what they were. I don't want them to be what they are. Something in between, please. Remember when Aberrants would just slap people out of existence?
I did remember it.
It was great. My favorite Aberrant story is one time my 10-man Aberrant unit got charged by a full Bloodthirster, like a full health 16 wound Bloodthirster, and I was like, holy crap, this is gonna hurt. So I popped the Fight on Death, as one does. That was a thing I could do at the time. And this Bloodthirster killed 2 Aberrants, and I was like, wow, that didn't hurt nearly as bad as I thought. I probably could have just killed you with the other 8 Aberrants. I didn't need to pop Fight on Death. However, I did swing the 2 Aberrants that died, and they killed the Bloodthirster. And I'm like, okay.
They put a little too many buffs on the Aberrants.
You could stack a lot of buffs on Aberrants, and that unit was at the time fully buffed. Like, they had might on them. They were next to an Aberrant. They were next to an Abominate. They were next to a Primus. They were slapping people.
Yeah, nice balance between the units.
Absolutely.
Just obvious choices are boring.
Yeah.
Which is why I really like what they did with the Drukari rules, where they brought a lot of stuff down.
Yeah.
That wasn't being used. But then they were like, Admech? Cold Mechanicus? You don't need that stuff. It's terrible. Let it be terrible.
I could see them bringing Cataphrons down a little bit.
Cataphrons just like 3 points, 5 points, something. But no. It's very sad.
Yeah, I think taking both Cataphrons down 5 points would be fine.
$10 super chat from Tyler. Thanks so much, Tyler. His question, how would you play into a Sisters list that maxes reserves? I feel like it's still struggle to have enough screens for the 16-inch flamers, miracle charges from Zephyrim and Seraphim. What would you do, John?
Depends on what army are they playing. Because honestly, just having a lot of crap to throw out, or depending on the army, if you just have like a Rhino full of like random crap, honestly, that is great. You just throw that out there, and then if they kill it in shooting, you just disembark 12.1 inches away from whatever deep struck in. And then, or, you emergency disembark 16 inches away, and then you're in position to go on next turn to still, score secondaries, primaries, whatever you're trying to do. Just trying to plan out 2 waves of units and build a couple of fast things into a list. So, like, I have Sky Slasher Swarms and Acolytes in my current list. And you know what? I'm probably just gonna, if I play against a Reserves Heavy Sisters list, I'm either A, going to fill out the entire table so they cannot deep strike. That's plan A. If that's not going to work, I'm going to throw the Sky Slashers very far forward ahead of everything else and let them die horribly 6 times over so that the Gaunts don't get flamered. Or honestly, I just sacrifice 1 Gaunt unit across the entire front, except that unit is dying anyway, but then I'm wasting a turn of my opponent's reserves. Oh, and a $10 super chat from Tyler Hepler.
That's the one I read.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a NIDS question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was answering for everyone. Nids, Sky Slasher Swarms, Acolytes, and just have a disposable Gaunt screen. So like you can use the double move stratagem, to be clear, not the Swarm one, the double move stratagem. Just send like a unit of Hormagaunts 8 plus D6 times 2 forward. And just make a long cordon of, yeah, this God Squad's dead. But you know what? They'll go get you Stranglehold, maybe engage if you took that instead. Maybe contest an objective. They'll go get you some work done. And then it's just like, all right. Like, I'll just wait. Yeah, Travis killed 3 knights with 1 squad of Aberrants. I've done that before. My favorite was when I went in and had Aberrants double fight to wipe out a clean 60 Orc Boys on the charge. Then I got charged by Orc Boys and I fought on death and I took the last 30 off the table. Simple as that. John, do you still think Freeblade is the best way to run knights? 100%. 100%, Tim. Freeblades, then Krask, then Raven. That is my order.
I'm excited for the Custodies book.
I am as well. I don't think I'll be playing them because both Jack and Richard are very excited about Custodies. I'm gonna just be content with my Genestealer cult. Although Jack's excited about every single army in the game, so
Yeah.
you know,
Jack goes from one army to another.
you never really know what's gonna happen there.
Can we get Jack on some sort of chaos faction?
You know what? I actually I'm gonna like play this little exercise at the end of the game, at the end of the season. I'm gonna go see what ITC rank my armies played by Jack would be. Cause like, I don't know. I've got a decent score at a super major with my Death Watch. My sisters did pretty well at a GT and pretty well at a Dallas as well. Like, I don't know. I feel like my armies run by Jack has to be like a top 10 in the ITC. It's definitely higher ranked than Jack army run by Jack, 100%. Although you're Blood Angels, you know, going off and doing you proud.
They have done some work. I hate when Games Workshop just adds a bunch of extra steps for no reason.
Oh,
What are all these random arms doing?
why do you have resin flayed ones?
Because I got them before
The plastic ones?
There was
Yeah,
a new
you have
kit.
some plastic ones too, right?
Yep, they're over here.
All right. How many flayed ones do you have right now?
I believe
5?
I have 12 built.
12. What a weird number. Why 12?
I don't know. I bought a Necron lot
All right, fair enough.
a long time ago.
I'm sure a couple of those flayed ones ended up as basing material. Yeah. What buff does the Stormlord Imatech? What buff does he give to flayed ones?
+1 to hit, just like any lord, and +1 movement, like any lord.
He had like Blood Swarm Nano Scarabs before. Are those just gone?
Yeah.
They're just gone? He doesn't buff flayed ones anymore?
There's a nano scarab relic.
Oh, it turned into a relic? What? Imatech used to like let them like deep strike and charge like better.
No.
No? Oh, that's disappointing.
No.
Can flayed ones naturally go into reserves by themselves?
Yes.
Okay. That's kind of cool. I'm rooting for these flayed ones to get on the table, Richard. I just need you to know that. Flayed ones, monoliths, like, it's time to get a little resurgence in
I'm
here.
trying.
Flayed ones are coming out in Imperium Magazine 15. Oh, like that little start collecting thing you can sign up for? That's pretty cool. What is my favorite orc models for look and what is my favorite for in-game? So for in-game, it's pretty hard to argue with some of the buggies and planes out right now because they're incredibly strong. But I'm gonna say that for look, it's the new orc war boss on the Dino Shark, the Squig boss. What a cool looking model! Like I'm not an orc player. I had no aspirations of being an orc player. When I saw that model, I was like, man, I could see myself wanting to paint this guy. Like that was cool. It could be like a fun little hobby project. I don't think I'm gonna be playing orc soon though. But for me, it's this boss on Squigosaur. It's just a great looking model.
For me,
Mark's killer cans that are sometimes Death Dreads.
no, not the Killicans. Honestly, the Dragsta looks really cool.
Yeah, some of that's true. The Shock Dump Shacks is probably the best looking.
They
buggy.
did a great job on the buggies. They do look awesome.
The buggy kits in general are beautiful. Of course, it detracts from it when they're primed gray, you know, slapped in null and then red stripes on, and that's it. But you know, it's not bad.
Red ones go faster, John.
Red ones go faster. It's a land shark, 100%. Love the Squig land shark. Land squig. Land Squig. There's some Pariah Nexus characters there. Man, those the new Necron Cryptic models that they got are honestly amazing looking.
They are good looking.
Yeah, I won't comment on the rules because I don't actually know what they do. But I know one of them takes away OBSEC and the morale phase. However, just love.
That is the Psychomancer, John.
Psychomancer,
I don't know
yeah.
why they had to do that timing, like just to make him a unique thing, but it's
Yeah.
not good. I'll tell
Not
you
great.
that.
It's not great.
Has the shuffling of points done enough to make any Cult Mechanicus units worth considering? The Skitarii stuff is just straight up better than the Cult Mechanicus stuff. Could be more expensive,
Why did the
but
Dragoon?
it's dramatically better. Robots are the only thing that went down, and not really enough. They only went down 10 points. I misspoken on the other stream. That's because you have to buy the guns for 5 each. And they just didn't go down enough. It's too easy to move block them. Like, they're fine because they can get core. They can get a lot of buffs on them, but they're an 8-inch moving thing that can be move blocked, so it's kind of hard to get the value out of them.
I see the struggle there.
And I'm not really solar flaring them across the map for whatever reason. But they're pretty darn tanky in Lucius. They are really hard to kill in Lucius, especially with any sort of small arms fire. Dragoons are terrible. They are terrible.
I love it so much.
They're 70 points a model, and they can't move anywhere because your opponent's going to put 5 cheap models in front.
Did
and...
Dragoons go up in points?
No, they're the same.
They were 70 before?
Yeah.
That's painful. They're so cool.
They lost core alongside Iron Striders
Yep.
and have since had no reason to exist. If they kept core, even then they'd be bad, but they're just terrible. There's no reason to ever run them. I would run Fulgurites before
You're breaking my heart, Siegs.
I would run Fulgurites before I ever ran.
Corpuscari are the best melee unit.
I'd run both of them. I'm saying the Fulgurites are the next. Corpuscari are decent. They're actually the best of the cult mechanics each. Do you like the new Sisters Troop? I definitely think
I love
John has
them.
come around to them.
I love them. I'm very, very happy with that. I'm sad. I'm actually heartbroken that I have to have a Battle Sister squad to take them. But I think that they're fantastic. So I think we don't have them yet. I'm sure at some point in the relatively soon future, you're probably going to want that Chalnath box, whatever it's called. Warzone Chalnath.
Oh, I'm getting one.
You getting one?
I wanted the Pathfinders.
Yeah, we'll try to get some Sisters up too.
These have so many pieces.
Flayed ones? You may actually want the instructions.
I
for that.
need the instructions. I don't know what is going on here. They're all separated.
Yeah, they are.
Look at this.
It is a dense sprue, my friend.
That is a lot of small pieces. I don't like
very
that at
dense
all.
sprue.
I'm gonna go build the Chronomancer then.
Chronomancer?
The legit Chronomancer, the new Chronomancer.
That's right. He's the guy that gives the 5 pinnacle, right?
Yeah, reroll charges. Hey, that reroll charge Warlord trait is actually useful now.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's for core.
Works on core.
You have a lot of core.
Now you have core units.
Yeah, well, you don't have a lot of core, but you have more core.
I mean, it is kind of a lot of core now.
Okay.
Based on
You gonna
Necron
reroll charges on your reanimators?
stuff. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna buff my reanimators to just the brand. They are going to do a ton of work for my army.
Do they shoot?
Yes, they have like a. Is a 2 to 4 shotgun that's AP2 1 damage, and they hit on 4s.
Silent King's gonna help a lot then.
Yeah, he's gonna help big time.
Heck yeah. How do you even run Corpuscari though? I worry about the 12-inch range. I've been looking at the Terex drill, also following the points changes. I think if one were to run Corpuscari, it would be in reserves. Just outflank them or in a transport like a Dune Rider or a Siege drill. I definitely don't think that they're mandatory though.
They're good in Lucius because you can 1 CP just put them in deep strike.
That's also true. Lucius has some good strength there. What with these changes, what Forge World are you thinking? Because I know you're playing a game tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just play my Metallica list.
Back to Metallica.
I mean, Games Workshop is the next event, so I think Metallica is very good on that terrain.
Got it. Okay.
So I'll probably do that. Test it out, see how it feels having just less units. Now, to be fair, I did say a while ago that that unit of power sword infiltrators was something that didn't do very much in almost all my games.
Yeah.
That is the thing I'm dropping, and like 5 troops. So now I have 4 5-mans in one big unit. Not the Metallica list got hit less hard than the flyer
And
one.
Mars, yeah.
Yeah, the Mars list got just annihilated. They were like, that list is not going to exist. I don't care, and they pointed everything up.
Good.
So, but the only reason I ran all those flyers is because I needed them to, because all my army was going to die to a bunch of squig buggies. With only 3 squig buggies, that isn't enough activations to ensure you get all the freebooters buffs off.
Yeah, that is really important.
So,
Not auto dying to mass buggies.
Yep.
It's huge.
that's the scariest thing about them.
Are Acanthrites interesting now? I don't know what they do, but I love the models and I really want an excuse for Richard to buy them.
They're cool, but I still think they're still overcosted. This is a problem with just Necron units in general. They're just overcosted. If the
Fair
core
enough.
buffs were stronger, then it would be fine. But you could run them, and it's not like you're running a terrible list. But I think there's just still too overcosted. Just not efficient enough, like most Necron units that have any sort of shooting.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll get there.
I'm rooting for them.
Okay. Here's a little prism.
Sieg's list was the template for Nerf's GW, just went never again. Good.
I mean, that is 100% true.
Yeah, we've gotten many things nerfed in this house. I'm shocked Slith and Urgles are the same though. That's the one.
And Hellions? There's everybody's spamming Hellions.
Everyone who's
Slits
already
and
taken
Urgles.
Hellions. The Slith and Urgle is like literally in every single list. I'm like, how is that?
So are the Hellions. Like,
Yeah.
how did those not go up? Not even a point.
I just feel like Hellions and Sicarans should be the same cost.
There were definitely some Drukari apologists working on this.
Perhaps.
They just got better attention.
Yeah.
They're like, Admeg shouldn't do anything. Get out of here. And they're like,
Yeah, it just feels like they spent more time on the Drukari nerfs
yeah,
than
they,
the Admech
they
ones.
considered it. They were like, just get Admec out of here. I don't want people.
They've probably been planning it for longer because Drukari was, well, quite frankly, a problem for longer. Alrighty. Doom. Gotta keep the wash train going.
I really hope destroyers go down because they get much more interesting with these buffs, but they're still just so pricey for what they are. But they could be very good if they go down.
They could be. They could be.
Felt like Drukari was really soft-handed. Yeah, I feel like they probably had harder changes than walked them back a little bit, and we're like, we'll see a little bit. I like that they reduce costs of the stuff that's not being seen. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I just wish they did that to Admech.
Yeah, we'll see how Admech fares without it, because I still think that they're a fine competitive book. I agree. You know, the 10 points on the big robots felt great. I wouldn't have hated seeing something on Cataphrons as well.
But for Admech, they literally hit everything. They went to the Holy Orders. They got the characters.
Oh, the Holy Orders went?
They went up too.
Oh, I mean, those
They-
were literally ridiculous for the points.
I mean, they were very strong.
Yeah.
They are the best of those specific. I'm gonna buy a character up because, like, compared to the Necron stuff, I
Oh,
would
yeah.
buy every single Admech one before I ever took any of the ones from Necrons.
Fully agreed. Yeah. Yeah.
And I have actually taken all of them except for Magi. I haven't taken Magi.
Which one was Magi?
It's the +2 to advances and the exploding sixes if you go into the advanced protocol.
Okay.
It's just not really necessary.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Also, if it worked with because it's on +2 to your advanced rolls, it doesn't work with if you flat advance
Flat
6.
6. Got it.
If it did work with that, then I probably would think about taking it. It's if you wanted to skimp on, if you were trying a Mars version of what I do with Metallica.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Admech should not do anything, go with AdMech next event and win it. I don't want any more AdMech nerfs. I think they're like
I don't think they'll nerf it again if you.
I feel like they might.
Do
Did you see my Tau list? It got nerfed 3 separate times in a row.
Yeah,
They-
my jeans circle have felt that pain.
Yeah.
But come on, also, wouldn't it be hilarious if, like, after all of this AdMech rumble, you just showed up with AdMech and you're like, you know what, 1,800 points, no problem, get off my table. Want it again? Complete the sweep.
I mean, what would Jack say?
What would you have to say at that point?
AdMech at the event had a 20% win rate with my
Get out
8
of
0
here.
included.
You know that's not true.
It might be true.
20%, no chance.
It was 48.
It wasn't. It just wasn't.
Mike said it, and I believe Mike.
That was with 9 drops.
I don't care about the technicalities of this, John.
Okay. all
Mike
right.
said so. It's
You sound.
law.
I don't care about the technicalities. You sound like Nick.
You gotta be a Nick every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Which one is that?
Nothing quite like Adrex Earthshade. Dirtying up some yellow.
That is the best part of the GW paint line.
Adrex Earthshade is literally magic. Null Oil is a close second, but boy is good old Adrex Earthshade of magic. Yo, a $5 super chat from Matt. Oh, thank you so much, Matto. Where do we think anti-tank levels should be, unless with AdMech/Orcs hit a bit, with Knights possibly resurgent? I actually don't think, I don't plan to lower my anti-tank at all, truth be told. Even though, like, I don't think Orcs are taking a nerf, to be clear. I think Orcs are being forced into a new list that is almost as powerful as what they did before. Maybe more. I think it's a little bit less on the turn 1 table U, which is great. We didn't want that anyway.
There's more staying power though.
But it has more staying power, more obsec, more mission play. I am personally not planning to lower my anti-tank in the slightest. Nope, no interest.
I'm surprised Orcs didn't get any points increases.
Yeah. I thought that as well, but they may have just thought that the spam was more of a problem. And which is weird because they haven't announced it yet. But they talked about how they're going to release the points for the 2022 GT pack early. And it's like, okay, well that means that there's a 2022 GT pack. Because they haven't actually said that, so I'm wondering when we're getting that. But maybe that, since it's going to have AdMech and Drukari, maybe it will also have Orcs. Hope so. I would like it to have Orcs. Yeah, I really like the idea of vehicles having high toughness and saves instead of just damage reductions and invulns. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with Lehman Russ being T8 to up armor save. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I like that. Guards should have tanks in every list.
Yeah, absolutely.
They basically have mana cores, and then if you wanted to take the tank commanders and stuff.
Yeah, maybe. But meh.
But they increased the damage of all, not all, excuse me. They didn't increase the Necron anti-tank, but they increased everything else. And at a certain point, there's no reason to run vehicles without emblems. So at least a 2-up armor helps.
Yeah, a 2-up armor I think is the right answer for us. I'm actually really happy with that.
Yeah.
Because there's just no reason for a rest of an invul.
It's weird that they hit the buggies with unit limits instead of points. It is strange. They could have hit them with points.
I think it would have been justified to hit them with points. Or to address freebooters or speedwog. I don't hate this answer. It's not the one I would have gone with, but I'm very willing to let it play out and see how it works. It's not a bad answer. I'm just glad that they did something instead of waiting to see.
I mean,
Right?
if they
I
waited
did not need to wait and see what the meta was going to do to adapt. Because it just...
Not when speed was coming.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, the speed freak's coming up as well. It's like, just washing these devourers.
Why is Call so bad? He is a named character, so he cannot take any of the holy orders. On top of that, he's 180 points, and his special rule is so he can be chapter master. That's fine. Nothing there. He's still a captain for core units, But his special rule now, instead of picking which canicles are active, or basically picking, because you roll 2 dice with Mars and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he lets you pick a core Cult Mechanicus unit, and they get to benefit from one of the canicles that hasn't been active yet, instead of the current one. So, core Cult Mechanicus, that means it's robots with a Cybernetica Datasmith nearby, or it's going to be Fulgurites or Corpus Gari.
I mean, Call's Walking Castle is still a funny name. I want that to be the name of the list.
But he's just way too much for what he does, which is basically nothing. If he had all the Holy Order traits at 180, you might see him.
I don't know about all. Maybe like pick one a turn.
Or something. Interact with him. But it's not like all of them are that strong. 2 of them are strong. The other ones kind of don't really matter. So I just said all for short sake. But like if he got something, if he could pick 2 of them, any benefits from them, I don't know. But he didn't get any sort of extra buff.
Yeah, he's just kind of a weird chapter master, unfortunately.
Also, he lost infantry.
He's a monster. I mean, Call was a monster before, let's be real.
He's a monster if you try and throw a solitaire into him, John. Mechadendrites?
Mechadendrites.
Boxcars. Mark learned. He learned about the Mechadendrites. Yeah. Maybe that was one of Mark's turning points towards just random little stuff. Like these Mechadendrites.
This is the secret sauce.
Darn strong. Would you like to see 2-up armor on other vehicles, like repulsors and hammerheads?
Not too widespread, but I would like to see more have it. I think,
Mainline battle tanks, that feels right.
yeah, I think Predators getting a 2-up armor save would be 100% okay. You know what? Maybe the Gladiator, because it's just garbage right now and it needs something.
Hammerheads. I put it on there.
Yeah, Hammerheads.
But I would like to see, cool, we're going to go ahead and buff the mainline battle tanks. The units like Land Raiders, which are supposed to be some of the toughest vehicles, period, they need a whole extra layer of rules. Because 2-up armor save just isn't enough anymore. Same thing with the Monolith. It has a 2-up armor. That's just not enough.
Yeah, no kidding.
For such a big, clunky vehicle. So they need to come up with some other mechanic that isn't just -1 damage to help those things out.
Agreed. Although we'll see. The good old -1 damage Land Raider is certainly something to be feared.
No, I mean, if the Monolith is -1 damage, I really might consider it. No.
Yeah, I'm joking about the Land Raider Achilles there.
Call was around too much in 8th, so they overpointed him. Was he really? Like, AdMech didn't really run him, honestly. When the AdMech started to get good in the edition,
I thought Call was pretty popular.
maybe early on, but like those lists weren't winning events. Like 6 robots with Call wasn't winning anything. When they finally got good rules with the Psychic Awakening, people weren't running Call. They were running the Manipulus and the Dominus. So
I remember Belisarius Call being literally everywhere.
You're probably thinking of early 8th.
Maybe.
When their book first came out.
Perhaps.
Because you could have a 9-inch aura of just rerolls.
Oh, Maddo, give Gladiators Core. I'm all about it. Core Gladiators. I don't know why I picked the Gladiator and the Storm Speeder as the things I want to be good, but gosh darn it, I spent money. I want to use it now. Give Castigator T8 to upsave. Give the Exorcist its T8 back. Cowards. Exorcist should be T8 again. They were not broken at T8. It went to T7.
Why?
I don't know. It went up. It went up in points. Went from T8 to T7, and its guns went from AP3 to AP2. I was very sad. Just got it slam with 7 command points and that Exorcist. Make it indirect and shoot it, Nick.
What are AdMech doing for anti-tank now? If you want anti-tank, you're taking the exact same units. Iron Striders with las cannons, and you're going to take Stratoraptors. 2 Stratoraptors.
Yeah.
You could try and take the Honor Dragoon Crawlers. They're just not... They don't have the same vision and mobility that the Stratoraptor has, and they're not as cheap as having the 2 Iron Striders, because 2 Iron Striders benefits better from the Mars buffs than a single Dune. If the Neutron Laser was flat 3 shots, then you would see it. Mm-hmm. But D3 is just too inconsistent.
Yeah,
but it's a better
one. Last chicken at that point.
Yeah.
It's just a weird side grade of last chicken.
Yeah, it's a 115-point last chicken instead of an 85.1.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a little bit of gray. Got to do some edge highlighting on my bone swords here.
It has better defense, but at the end of the day, that's not a huge deal. Give all vehicles core, or just get rid of the core mechanic.
I think core was a mistake. I just think that some of the buffs should have been infantry. Personally.
Or pick particular units.
Yeah,
like
or more target
infantry.
things.
Yeah. Just make the buffs targeted.
Yeah.
Whatever buffs are too strong, make them targeted towards particular units.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, like, 6 tanks around, huddled around a capital lieutenant was boring.
Silly.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels too all or nothing now.
Your vehicle has to be really good to make it now.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
Are you supremely undercosted? Do you do a ton of damage or have amazing defense? Well, ideally,
get
multiple
out.
of these. If not, no. Especially the fact that dreadnoughts go at core, that just meant dreadnoughts were going to be the thing.
Yeah, they got -1 damage and core. It's like, why would I take a normal tank?
Did we think this through?
I mean, because Redemptors and Contemptors were so spammed in Marine lists recently, I wouldn't be shocked if they eventually went up in points. I just feel like that's just going to be worse for Marines, who are already kind of starting to fall into a not great spot.
Not big on disintegrators anymore. They have a strength 5 gun that is only AP 1. They are not terrible, but they're 145 points. They're a lot of points, and you really need to run them in Mars.
Just not great.
And ideally want to run an engine seer for +1 to hit on them. Like, it's fine. In my Agrippina list, I ran 1 as my Eradication of the Flesh, just keep this thing alive, and hopefully it does a little bit extra damage because it gets extra AP in half range. And it did fine, but you could just save like 50 points and instead go get a transport, which can help you in other ways. So it's not spectacularly good. So it's okay. You can run it and it's fine, but it doesn't do a heinous amount of damage.
Or should it?
No. Like in End of 8th edition, it was really strong.
Yeah, it really was. Hated plenty of that stuff.
You played with it too.
I certainly did as well. Had a nice little sister combo with that. It's a fun list.
Exploding 6 is to hit.
Yeah, why not, right?
Hey, my unit pumps out 1,000 shots. How about exploding 6 is to hit just to make it darn sure that I get all
You got a
the damage.
Daedalus in there so that you have, +1 to hit as well.
Oh, yeah.
We're hit, darn it. We are hit. Okay.
Remember Devout Push?
You know what? You can still use it at
That is true. You can take old Black
You
Templars.
can still take old Black Templars to GW Austin. God, if I showed up with that, like, I don't know, without... See, Black Templars would have been a lot better to take them to Austin than to New Orleans. I don't have to deal with all these planes. I don't know, like, old Black Templars actually would be really good there.
They would be.
I just don't want to take old rules that don't exist.
Maybe Jack will take them.
No, he won't. He's gonna insist on Blood Angels. It's like the best army in the game.
Yeah, if he switches back to old Black Templars,
That'd be
it's
hilarious.
all just talk.
That would be hilarious.
It's
I really
all
hope he does.
talk.
Man, all that took a lot less time than I was expecting. Okay. Just have to wait for a wash to dry, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of a lighter yellow dry brush over the guns here, brighten them up a little bit.
How many more Devil Guns can we get you to paint?
How many more? 0. 60 is
90.
as many as I would ever need in a list. I will never need 90. Never need 90.
Never say never, John.
I hope I don't ever need 90. Please. Do not want 90. Ugh, I hate painting gods. I have so many done. Like, this has to be enough. It has to be. Don't make me do more. Are these flayed ones coming along?
I'm working on the Chronomancer now. 'Cause I
Chronomancer.
need the instructions for these
Got it,
other
okay.
guys. Because there's just so many. little pieces that if I start clipping things off, I'm not.
Yeah, you're gonna lose them and you're not gonna know the numbers. I
Yeah.
can respect that. Well, I think that means that my my Warzone land list is done though. It's literally just a dry brush on this, but this is already done. You know, I just want to make it a little more clear. It makes me happy.
Jack's fervent defense of Blood Angels is down low. One of the best things on the channel.
Jack doesn't quit. He's like, I know what I'm about. Blood Angels till I die. I have no idea where this came from. Is the best
I can't
part.
wait for Custodes or GSC to come out, and he's just like, that's the best army in the game.
I guarantee he's going to play both of those armies when they come out, like 100%, no doubt.
Warpfire saved him a Thousand Suns trip. He told me to order up a lot of Thousand Suns, and Warpfire was like, "Oh, we're already out, but we can get you on the list." And then a week later, he's like, "No, none of that Thousand Suns stuff, please."
Poor Jack.
Got a $2 super chat from Clown Mode. Thanks so much, Clown Mode. Tips for speed painting for an event. John knows about that because me and John have gone to a lot of tournaments together.
We have.
And John had a long history of the night before he's brought his paints and he is finishing stuff up.
I've done that
BAO, Nova, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, so the big thing about speed painting is you want to try to find a recipe that is still going to look decent. Because, I mean, honestly, if you want to just speed paint your models to get them 3 colors and you don't mind if they look bad, there's actually no advice to give. If you're okay with your models looking bad, just paint them sloppy and quick, and that's okay. Some people like that. I personally try to make my armies look as good as possible. I've taken some shoddy Marine armies in the past, and I didn't love playing that for an entire weekend. So I've really tried to get my models all to a base standard before I ever show up to a tournament. Like this is a speed painted Tyranid army, but you know what? This looks perfectly fine on the tabletop. So the big thing is get a primer that is a main color you're going to use. And then make sure every single inch of it is washed. Bottom line is that like easy, get things done fast. Like Tyranids, I primed them red. I did a little bit of carapace work, splashed Nolan oil over the entire model, and then I'm just going back and doing a little detail. You could skip the detail and this would be fine for a tournament. You could also do one less color on the carapace and it'd be fine for a tournament. I'm trying to do the extra steps because I want these models to be used afterwards and I want them to look decent. And this, for Gaunts, these look great. For 5-point models, these look good. All right. Cut down on the number of colors, get a wash layer, absolutely. And get as much of it done with a spray as you can. If you own an airbrush, it helps tremendously. I love airbrushing, but I don't do it on this stream because it's just too loud to really do on a paint stream. But all the time I'm airbrushing like armies and models, helping Nick out paint his stuff. Although the Harlequins he has to do alone.
Oh, yes. Hey, Ashley, we haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Are Devil Gaunts worth it then? They seem so clunky to use, even with good damage.
100%. Devil Gaunts for the win. The redeploy warlord trait is the best possible thing for them. They're the best target of Relentless Flurry in the Codex. They're the single best unit that could benefit from it. And I love the ability to deploy them on the line, and if I go second, put them in reserves. Or redeploy them farther back. And then if I go first, maybe I take a second unit, put on the line, or put some Gene Stealers on the line. You have a lot of choices. I just absolutely love the ability of Devil Gaunts to get Chapter Master, Relentless Flurry, and just decimate people. I've done some nasty things to Jack and Mark by deploying Devil Gaunts on the line, and then just cranking the gun and starting shooting them. But being able to put them in reserve is also really nice.
How do you feel about more Hive Guard?
They're not bad. I kind of haven't gone back and reconsidered them in the context of the new FAQ because unfortunately Warzone Atlanta is not using the new FAQ this weekend, so I actually have to play against multiple AdMech flyers and Orc flyers and a ton of buggies at least one more time, which is actually really depressing.
One more for the Gipper.
One more for the Gipper. You gotta win one. But I do think that I'll go back and consider double Hive Guard purely because I'm removing some other elements from the list and need something to put in there. However, I just don't think it's necessary. I think one Hive Guard is perfectly fine and you just don't need more. Could you consider a second unit? Sure, it's not bad. Is it necessary? Not even close. I do not think it's mandatory in the slightest.
I just want to show the Monolith.
Monolith!
Anybody
Dun
missed it.
dun dun. We need to find that Turvagon. I kind of.
Where is my Turvagon? Because it is actually very nicely painted as well.
I have no idea. None at all.
And I know I didn't Warpfire it because I'm the person Warpfiring.
Yeah, no, I have not taken anything to Warpfire that hasn't gone through you, so I have no idea.
All right, well, I am at a good place.
Yeah, I am as
You
well.
John? All right,
I
well,
sure am.
thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We got some other awesome content coming up this week.
Ooh, yes.
First of all, we're going to have AdMech versus Drukari tonight.
In the war room.
Two factions that have received a lot of love, as you might say, from Games Workshop, a lot of attention. So we're gonna see how they fare into each other, because Nick has yet to beat my AdMech, and can he do it with the points drops? We're gonna find out. And then on Thursday we are doing Necrons. Necrons are gonna be on the table. I'm gonna try and run as many of the units that got core as possible, and see what synergies we can come up with.
Absolutely.
And then Nick is gonna run Thick City. He is gonna run all of the Coven stuff. So we're gonna see how that list performs, because he's gonna run more of a more similar list tonight in the War Room. $5 super chat from Aragon Claw. First time catching this live. While Necron changes may not be enough, I love the freedom it gave us to build lists. Also, at what point are Catan viable? Appreciate your super chat. Thanks so much. I also like the freedom that it gives. Necrons don't have the most amazing core rules, but they if they get points drops in chapter approved, then we can start talking. They're
definitely improved, and that is a good place to start.
And then Catan, I think they need to drop. The named ones need to drop at minimum 50 points.
I think they can go less than 50 if you drop other parts of the army.
Yeah, if they drop the whole army.
I don't think the Nightbringer needs to be 50 points cheaper. He definitely should be
320
cheaper.
at that point.
I'm willing to go 340.
That is ridiculous, John.
He's good.
That's 10 points cheaper than... He is a 9 wound thing that moves 8 inches.
You know what?
No. He
has killed too much. He kills too many things.
50 points, and then they are viable. We're talking about viable, not just...
He's already viable.
He really just isn't.
All right, well...
Show me the winning list.
Thanks for catching us, everyone. Jonathan, the game is in about 2.5 hours.
Hiveguard should be 400 points if the Nightbringer's 370.
I think Hiveguard should be 300 flat.
Cheaper, 6 Hiveguard cheaper than the Nightbringer. You heard it here, folks. We've got a homer.
I mean, they should be. They're 100 points cheaper right now. It shouldn't be 100 points cheaper, but...
I think the same class would be actually pretty reasonable. Both those units, the effect they can have on the game. That is such a homer. 6 Hiveguard should no way be cheaper.
Oh my god. You're the homer here. You want the Nightbringer to be 50 points less.
300 points. I'm not saying he's 200 points. 300, John.
How many is he now? 370?
370.
You want 70 points less all in one go? Get out of here.
Yes.
320 maybe? Yeah. Azerman is 160. Oh god, Azerman, don't even talk
300
about
points is so much for an 8-inch moving thing.
All right. We'll have to see what happens whenever we get.
They're probably going to get like 10 points, and they're still going to
I can give you more than 10.
No, I'm saying Games Workshop.
I would give you more than 10.
Games Workshop, they might increase some 10 again. You never know. All right, we're gonna send you off. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Dive even deeper into competitive 40K and become a member of the world's most knowledgeable and positive community.
The War Room is an exclusive group that brings together the world's best 40K players as coaches to help anyone from a newer player to an experienced tournament veteran learn, grow, and reach their goals within our shared hobby.
Each week we offer a variety of live stream coaching matches centered around illuminating the thought process and in-game decision making of top players. We explain everything we're doing and why.
You'll learn about the ever-evolving meta, match play mission theory, list making, and discussion of every faction in the game, and have access to analysis of all the latest rules. Our team of highly experienced coaches teach weekly clinics on each individual faction, strategy sessions on deployment and cool tricks, and meta-analyses each week during Meta Monday.
We are committed to not only providing the best knowledge for players available, but also building a one-of-a-kind community.
Come be a part of the War Room.